I'm a recruiter and I review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a software engineer intern. And I want to let everybody know I do all resumes, not just tech, but tech is a terrible market right now. So like 90% of the resumes that are sent to me are tech, but I do every type of resume. So what we need in a software engineer intern, specifically an intern, is the same thing we need in every single intern. Interns are not that complicated on the resume. A lot of interns overcomplicate it and they make it way worse. So what we need for an intern is I need to see that you are still enrolled, right? Then I need to see a basic knowledge of whatever that is for this case, it's the tech stack, so I just need to see a little bit of tech stack, library, SQL Cloud. But if you're any other intern, you can replace that with whatever your industry is. And I need the basics. I want to clarify the basics. If you send me some advanced hypotenuse Monte Carlo simulation, that's a rejection. You need the basics. We're looking for the basics. I also need to see that you can work well with others and take direction and criticism. I know that sounds a little silly, but for interns only, you need those. Any other type of job, you don't need those, but interns need to show that they can take direction and criticism and work with others, because most people that have hired interns have hired an intern and found out that sometimes that intern freaks out when you tell them what to do and they have to let them go and they want to avoid it. That's why that's there. So recruiters only have 20 seconds on the clock to find these things, but we're not just finding these. These are considered keywords. We're finding qualifications, and a qualification is one of these plus where you did it, plus how you did it, plus the reason and or result of you doing it. If you do not have all four of those, it does not count as a qualification, not counting your degree. So 20 seconds on the clock. Is this a bad or a good resume? Actually don't know yet. We do not know. So a good way to tell if your resume is bad is if you're getting one interview over 50 applications. If you are sending 50 applications and you're getting one interview, it's okay. If you're sending 25 applications, you're getting one interview, it's a great resume. If you're sending 150 applications to get one interview, it's a garbage resume. So 20 seconds on the clock. I do not know how good or bad it is. Let's see if I can't find out and go. Okay, degree fine. Fintech, okay. Formatting's terrible. Optimize the live infrastructure. Python is good. Modern portfolio across. I don't care about that. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Engineer hybrid order with a C++. Okay, don't care. This is irrelevant. Most of that is irrelevant. I actually almost missed it. And time. Yeah, this is not a good resume. This is not the worst resume ever, right? Like, this is not a destroy this and never see the light again, but it's not a very good resume, partly in the formatting and partly just there's way too many hot dogs, which I will explain in a minute what I mean by way too many hot dogs. So this person said, I made some changes based on your feedback last time. I wonder if it looks better now. Again, I think the last time was like 150 plus to 1. This is probably 110 to 1. So better, but there's still a lot of work we can do. My skills are in back-end Python and high-performance systems, C++. You would probably want to split those into two. There's not a ton of roles for software engineers specifically that would require both C++ and Python for an internship. I'm specifying for an internship. Once you get into a non-internship, there are roles. I have gotten an internship at a well-known fintech company, and I'm currently recruiting for the fall session and beyond. Reason why I have incoming on my resume, yeah, that one's fine. I got this internship through networking. Okay, so not resumes, and a hackathon win. I've never gotten an interview through cold applying, so this is an absolutely... So your previous resume was worse. This is slightly better, but let me tell you how to fix it. So first off, if this is your second one, this is not how your resume should look. You should know how this looks. This is how your resume needs to look. The link to this is below in the description. It's free. This is the guide. This is how to do it. You need your resume to look like this. I don't care if you're a barista or an intern or a 10 plus year software vet or an accountant or another recruiter. You need this format. The only time this format does not work is if you are a high level director or you are job hoppy. That is the only time you don't want to use this format. Otherwise, you need to use it. This is a nightmare to read. So, first off, again, stop with the lines. Why does everybody put these lines? All this does is make it harder. I think this is Jake's resume template or whatever. Second, this right here. Oh, that is barely visible. Let's do this gross color. This needs to be one line and not bolded. Nothing here should be bolded. Not a single thing. It makes it harder to read your resume when you're reading in volume, which is what recruiters do. We read them in volume. We do not have a single requisition. We have 75 at the same time in different industries. So fix your formatting. Again, none of this line over here. This should not be bolded. This should be, let me see, this software engineer intern. This should be one line, and it should be italicized, and then you can just put, in fact, you don't even need to do this. You can just put incoming software engineer intern on one line for the fintech company. That's it. That's fine. That'll be fine, because that way they know, okay, it's an incoming position. Then the next one, actually, I don't even know if you really need this or not. The next one is optimize live trading infrastructure. Cool, I don't know what that means. Using Python, good. Focusing on a marginal model performance and portfolio statistics, that's a hot dog. I don't care about that. That's not related to the basics. So that can be safely deleted. Like you've really only said created infrastructure, right? A live trading infrastructure using Python. And then under the mentorship of the 2 Sigma whatever officer, that does not show that you can work well together with others or take direction or criticism. That is a hot dog. I need to state that. So what I mean by hot dog is recruiters are looking for hamburgers. And I want you to imagine, same with hiring managers too, they're looking for hamburgers. I want you to imagine that you are hungry, so you go to a restaurant and you're like, waiter, I would like 1 cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, okay, cheeseburger with pickles and onions. Do you want anything else on that cheeseburger? You say, no, pickles and onions, that's what I want. Cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. They say, okay, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. So they go to the back, they bring you back, and they bring you a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions. And you would look at them, and you'd be like, bro, what? And they would say, this is what you wanted. This is a hamburger. And they say, no, it's not. This is a hot dog. They say, well, yeah, but a hot dog is a hamburger. A hot dog has buns just like a hamburger. A hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. And a hot dog has cheese, ketchup, and onions just like a hamburger. You would look at them like they were absolutely insane, and you would leave. And that is exactly the problem right here, is we are looking for these hamburgers, but you gave me hot dogs, right? Like the statistics across 1 million portfolio under the mentorship of a chief risk officer, that's a hot dog. That's not what I'm looking for. Engineer to high performance, older management system components with C++. Maybe I could use C++, but probably not. Hot dog. Increasing order processing by throughput, blah, 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 blah. That's not related. That's a hot dog. Built a real-time monitoring system in Python. Pandas, NumPy, you probably don't need Streamlit, but the other two are nice to have. With a gRPC, proto buff, don't care about that. But GCP is good and Docker is good. But again, I don't even know what you did. Like, why did you do this? What was the part about surfacing deployment? So this is an almost okay sentence. I just need a little bit more about the reason and or result of you doing it. But if you notice, all I see here is the tech stack. I don't see anything about how you work well with others. I don't see how you take direction and criticism. Again, working under somebody is not direction and criticism. I need to see met weekly with the chief engineer to where he or she would correct my code and I would fix it before the next weekly meeting. Like, that shows you can take direction and criticism, but that you had a boss doesn't show that. And then I also still need that you can work well with others. Researching under, yeah, this is completely irrelevant. I don't think there's a single thing it is that I don't also know why I need your teacher's name. Exceeding a Go, no one's going to care about Go, don't care. Yeah, nothing here is related, so this entire thing can be deleted. And then we go down to projects. Again, projects are formatted badly. Don't care. Again, I don't think they're going to want C++. Like, probably not. Maybe you could have C++, but the rest of the sentence is bad, although I do like the GitHub. Achieved over order. Yeah, again, I don't care about your numbers. Nobody cares about your numbers unless you're in sales or a manager. If you're in sales and you're a manager, you should put numbers in the bullet points, right? You always need dates of employment and your phone number. But if you're not a manager in sales, no one cares about your numbers. 18% integrated real line, blah, 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 that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to need you to stop with all the numbers, because this is why you're getting rejected by everybody that's not networking, which, to clarify, networking is the best way to get a job. I will be always perfectly honest with that. If you know somebody that knows the hiring manager, or you know the hiring manager and they can vouch for your work, that is the best way to get a job. That is what this person did. But for everybody else, and because you can't rely on networking all the time, especially as an intern, this is how you do. Well, this is how you don't do it. This is how you do it. And I've had some good internships. I think the previous video had good resumes that got people interns, but this is why you're failing, is you're filling this with irrelevant number. Oh, no, that part I actually didn't need. You're filling it with irrelevant numbers that do not matter. And yeah, like, none of this stuff is related. Why do I care that you implemented a bounded producer consumer queue, mutexes, condition variable atomics with explicit memory, blah, 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 blah. That's completely irrelevant. That's not even a hot dog. That's like a, I don't know, like spaghetti, if we're still using the metaphor. So this is a bad resume. The only thing that actually saves it is this single sentence down here, which is salvageable, but you need to go back to the drawing board and make sentences that are actually good and relevant to the role. And I need you to stop trying to impress us. We will not be impressed. The hiring manager will not be impressed. The recruiter will not be impressed. The lead engineer reviewing these resumes will not be impressed. So that's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. I'm a small creator, and anytime you share my video, it really, really, really helps me out a lot. So thank you for that. And if you ever need any more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these keywords. And I just want to thank my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. If you want to support the channel as well, you can do so in the link below. But thank you very much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And I want to make sure you all get jobs. So let's go to the next resume. This is a GRC analyst, which I forgot what GRC stands for, but I have gotten a couple of these on the channel before. So what we need for a GRC analyst is GRC, security, compliance, SOC, ISO, or HIPAA, cloud and its certs. So I want to see a few cloud certs. AI governance, cross-functional, NIST/CIS audits, Microsoft tools, so Excel, SharePoint, Word, navigating documentation, and speaking to non-technical teams and non-technical stakeholders. So this person has a 100-to-1, which is bad, but I actually see it says international next to it. So 100-to-1 for an international is not terrible. So letting everybody know, when you follow my advice, you get a 1 in 7. So for every 7 applications you send in, you get 1 interview once you start actually following it. The exception is internationals and remote work only. Internationals get between a 1 in 30 to a 1 in 100. So if you're getting a 1 in 100, it's probably, we can tweak it a little bit, but it's still going to be a slog. It's just that hard of a market for y'all. So 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, CompTI, don't care about. Cybersecurity, might care about. Don't care about that. Manage the end-to-end GRC, good. Compliance operation regulated. CUI research project, my name is good. I don't know about this, but that might be needed. Perfect. Led risk assessments across CUI by NIST controls to identify security gaps. Okay. I mean, that's pretty solid. Again, the case of this is not a terrible resume, because I immediately found most of what I wanted. It's just like, you're international and it's going to be that hard to find a job. So let me read what you wrote. And that was, I'm an international student and applied to 900 jobs. It was mainly a mixture of cyber and GRC roles with 2 different resumes. I got like 4 interviews in total. Yeah, we can do a little bit better than that. So move the GRC, because that's what I've been doing. I've used your template you provided to fix the points. Thank you in advance. Looking forward to the review. So first off, remember, we need to make sure it's razor focused on what we need. And do I need a CompTI? I don't think so. I can double check, but I don't think we need that. In addition, I don't need this because you already got your master's in information technology. So this leads 2 very solid certs that we would want. Maybe you could put the CompTI, but I don't know how information management. So when I go down here, let's see what I find, and I'm going to take it out of the list. I found GRC, perfection, great, love it. Then do I find SOC? All the way down there, no one's reading that far down. So no, I don't see it. ISO, no, again, all the way that far down. HIPAA, No, I don't see it. So again, the problem is this is way too long, and you've only been there for you've only been there for less than a year. You should not have this many bullet points. Like, the maximum you want is 8, but that's for, like, if you've been there for 10 years. You've only been there for less than a year. I would say, like, you only need 3 bullet points. Then do we have any AI governance? I don't see it. Then I did see NIST, which was good. Do I see CIS? I don't, but I do see NIST. I think I saw audit, so audit is good. Yeah, audit was good. I did not see any MS Office tools, so that's not good. I think I did see navigation documentation, which is good. Yeah, I think CMC documentation, that's good. That counts. And I don't see speaking to non-technical teams and stakeholders. So, yes, dog is barking. Give him a minute. So, yeah, this is okay, here, it's all the way down here. So, it's not a terrible resume. It's just too bloated. Right? Like, there's way too much here. In addition, the first thing is this needs to be 3 lines maximum. And I don't think you need all this stuff in your resume. Like, why do you need all of this for a job you've been at for this little of a time? So, what can we take out? Managed end-to-end GRC is good, and security compliance operations. Okay, good. For federally regulated CUI research projects. Okay. I think this should, the second part is, we need to reframe this, right? Like, manage GRC and security operations for a federally regulated research by navigating NIST and CMC and documentation frameworks by coordinating with research and IT teams for audit readiness. Like, that is how I would phrase that. And then we go down to here, and again, is there anything here that you didn't already say? I kind of like security gaps, but that's it, because you already mentioned everything else, so we need security gaps. But you already mentioned that. Build and maintain audit. You already mentioned audit 3 times. You already mentioned security frameworks. I don't know if there's anything here. Then we go down to here is authored information security policies, standards, and procedures using MS Office and Word. Good. By translating NIST, you've already mentioned NIST. We don't need to keep saying this. By translating technical requirements into plain language. There we go. This should be your second bullet point. And then down here, supported AI governance initiatives and security. You already mentioned cross-functional repeatedly. I don't know if you need to mention it again here. Security reviews by evaluating emerging technology. There's nothing else in that. So I need 3 of these per. And right now you have a very long but solid first sentence, a very good 4th sentence, and a kind of mid 5th sentence. So this is part of the problem. Is there's a lot of hot dogs in this, right? You gotta be razor focused on what is relevant, because if it's not relevant, it's not worth it to include it in your resume. Next resume. This is a full stack software engineer resume. So what we need for a full stack is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. That should be in your first sentence and almost in the very first 5 words. I need to see that. If you don't have it, you're probably going to get rejected. React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL or NoSQL, RESTful API or REST API, Cloud, CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for AI, agentic, and architecture and all that good stuff. So this is their 3rd or 4th time, so we don't know their new ratio, but this better be nearly perfect by the time we're done. So, and go. Okay, MS Computer Architect, relocating New York, perfect. Okay, use TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, Angular, features for XName, trend, spacecraft, perfect. Emily recipe has a Node.js, using, okay, perfect. Built a CID front end with Git and deployment time, an agile environment, perfect. Developed the process, Terraform, Docker. Okay, I don't know if there's anything here I would change besides the fact that there's no cloud, but I imagine that's the reason you put here is that you've only done this here, and I don't see it anywhere else. Otherwise... actually, wait, is there another AWS that I missed? I feel like I missed AWS here. Yeah, it's all the way at the bottom. If that's the case, so I would actually put this one up here, because I think the AWS in a project is more important than the Java and the TCP. So yeah, you definitely should put that project up top, because develop the full stack using the rest of this doesn't matter. No one can see it. It's too far down. That's actually part of the problem. But that one, you know what I'm talking about when I'm reviewing this. They're in the chat right now. So let me read what they wrote. My fourth version, I applied to 4 to 15 jobs with this last week. I got a few rejections. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. You can place with, okay. It's not bad, but again, you are relocating, and that's always going to be an issue. So here's what I do need you to do if you're doing the relo. Don't put city and state, right? This doesn't matter. Just say U.S. citizen relocating to New York City on the 17th of April, 2026, can move earlier if needed. That is what you want to do. Also, if you're relocating that soon, you may want to give yourself like a month just in case, but otherwise that's it. So resume-wise, I think this is good. My big problem is I don't see the cloud, which I just don't think you have. If you're still struggling, then it's because you need to apply to these places ASAP. Unless you're applying to primary startups. Startups have a slightly different thing that they want, but I don't know if I actually see what I would need for a startup here. But yeah, you need to make sure you're applying early. But otherwise, the resume is good. It's just that it's a tough market. Is there anything here that I think I'm missing? So I see JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS, Angular, good. I see the degree, good. I see Angular. I see RESTful APIs is good. Cloud we don't have again. CI/CD and Git I see is fine. I see .NET and Python, so I see Python, that's fine. I see SQL, that's good. I don't know if I see React. No React, but I do see Node. So yeah, your big issue is probably just the fact that we want to make sure that they read this. So U.S. citizen that is relocating to New York. And startups, I realize if you're applying there are a little bit different, but otherwise this is probably the best you can do. Just the fact that you are relocating is going to hurt your chances. And 15 jobs last week is not soon enough. So I would expect one of those to get you an interview. Unless you're applying too late. Remember, the faster you apply, the better. If you're applying, there's already 200 people in the application pool, you're not going to get seen. Next, resume. This is, I don't know. They just said software engineer, and you've got to pick a stack if you're going for a software engineer. So there is some discrepancies with this resume. They say they have a good ratio, but they also tell me it's a bad resume, and that they're only getting interviews at places that auto-interview everybody. So I'm not sure I can trust the 1 in 25. They say they can't trust it. They say they're also being picky and they're not just sending out a bunch of ones. So yeah, they don't know what they're doing. So normally when I'm able to help is you kind of have to pick a job title. I need you to pick a job title before I can help because I don't know every job title. I have to look it up. My skill is not knowing these off the cuff. My skill is I know how to look them up. So I have to do that. So I'm not sure what this is. You have stuff for cybersecurity. So I'm really kind of tough on how to review this because like the thing that's throwing me here is the fact that you have cybersecurity patents, right? And then you have stuff for smartphones. And then I don't know what this one is. So your formatting is terrible. Your education is cybersecurity. And a 1 in 25 with a bad resume could be for cyber. Like, maybe you need to just apply to cybersecurity, which I can get that up. Because a cybersecurity engineer is this stuff right here. Although I will say this is slightly outdated. I do have to fix this. Update it. And let me see if maybe you have enough for a cybersecurity. It's just really... Okay, let me see this. So, 20 seconds on the clock. If you don't give me a job description, I'm really not able to help you that much. So, go. Okay, degree. Cyber, good. Game design, I don't really care about. HTML, JavaScript is nice, but it's not really what I need. Applications, something programming, OpenAS, Python, web app applications. It reads like full stack. Okay, so this is not... I'm very confused. I am thoroughly confused by this resume. I mean, the formatting is bad, but it's not terrible, right? Like, again, you want to use this formatting, but at least this is legible. And again, you want to lead with your education and no skills section. So I'm not sure what to do about this one, because you've got a game dev, and then you've got cybersecurity, and then you've got an application engineer, and then an adaptation software, and then it reads like a full stack. So this is like 800 resumes in one, and even the person themselves say it's not working. So I think the big thing we have to do is just pick what you want to do. Break this into two types of resumes, right? One, cyber. It looks like you actually have the qualifications for cyber based on your education. Two, full stack. You might actually have enough with this. The problem is you then have a game dev, which is completely irrelevant. So I don't really care if you've been a game dev. I don't need any of this, right? Lee would like to play this. Lee would like you to put this onto his Discord so that other people can play it, because Lee loves video games. But as a Lee the recruiter does not want that, because that is not related for a cyber role, nor is it related for a full stack role. So again, that doesn't matter. And then we go down here and we actually see some of the stuff for full stack, right? I don't care about this part, but I do care about at least HTML and JavaScript. So you need to pick what you want to do and then fix the formatting for it, because I don't know. This is confusing me. This would not fly at almost any of the roles I have. The one thing is, I think the fact that you've got a cybersecurity patent is probably going to help you a ton in other cyber roles. But that's all I can kind of do for this one. So next resume. This is a resume for a front-end software engineer. So what we need for a front-end software engineer is JavaScript, React, Angular, HTML, CSS, PHP, Next.js, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful API, SEO, Git, CI/CD, Node.js, 0 to 1. So from start to finish, communication with stakeholder needs into a product, and all that other stuff for extra language. This person, we do not know their ratio. They did not tell me anything about it. So this is the only thing I have about their resume is what's in front of me. So I don't know why I got the hiccups. 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, nothing here matters. Nothing here matters. Education, good. Personal projects to show. Okay, that doesn't matter. Built a website with don't care. CSS good with JavaScript and React is solid. Websites don't care. Developed a color picker, don't care, but you did tell me JavaScript at least. This is not related. 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 And time. Yeah, so this is filled with hamburgers. You sent me almost a blank resume. So remember, nothing here counts, right? Skill sections don't count. Summaries don't count unless you are one of three specific things. Skill sections can be deleted. Education is good, but we want to remove these lines. I stop with the lines. Then we go down to projects, and most of the stuff is irrelevant. Never tell me how you learned something. This is a thing that a lot of people do. They say, I learned, nope. I just want to see that you've done it. So this does not matter. Also, for projects, you don't need to say the dates. Projects, it's assumed that, well, you can take your time. It's a project. It's not a full-time. You can take a year. You can take a month. The dates don't matter for projects. They do for internships and full-time. And just say built a website using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and React 2x, but scalability is not it. Nor does this matter right here, nor does this matter. Color picker, again, at least you tell me React or JavaScript, but this doesn't matter. So again, where's you did JavaScript, you did React. Where is the HTML? I don't see it. Where's the Angular? Where's the PHP, the Next.js, the SQL, the Scrum, the Agile, RESTful API, the SEO, the Git, the CI/CD, the Node.js, the 0 to 1, the communication with stakeholders? And before you ask, I am aware that PHP is not a front-end language, but front-end roles require PHP. I don't make the rules. I can just tell you what they are. So take that up with, every single company that's doing it. So yeah, this does not work because this resume is almost completely blank. I need you to be razor focused on what I need, and I need you to tell me what you did, how you did it, and the reason and result. And yeah, it's okay if you tell me that for a project, right? Built a weather picking app using JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and React to pick different colors for our X. And then use SQL and RESTful APIs to create the front end for our customers or whatever. Like, but this right here, this tells me nothing. This tells me the only thing is React, JavaScript, and CSS, which is good, but where's everything else? And I'm even looking at this, and again, there's nothing else down here. So you need to be very, very specific with it, because otherwise you're just submitting a blank piece of paper. And if you submit a blank piece of paper, you're going to get rejected. This is why you're struggling. And the fact that we're in a recession, right? Like, let me clarify here. We are in a recession right now. The jobs are hard to find. There are more people applying to jobs than there are jobs available. This means it's going to be tough, but this resume is not helping you. So that's all I can do for this one. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you very much for liking, commenting, subscribing. And, I want to thank my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting me. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. And if you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. And if you ever need more help, feel free to join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.